Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland. Tonight we're going to be covering everything that you could possibly want to know about the upcoming album by the Rolling Stones entitled Foreign Tongues. Cue that dude on the beach. All right, I've been covering this story since around February, haven't I? And we've covered what we've heard, bits and pieces, things like that. First of all, we talked about right from the get-go track listing. At first, we were told that there was going to be a pre-release and that it was going to be called Mr. Charm. We didn't get that. Instead, we got Rough and Twisted, and we got Rough and Twisted not by the Rolling Stones, but by the Cockroaches, at least initially. But what happened to Mr. Charm? And when you went to Apple Music to stream the couple of downloads that they had for this album, you got titles for songs, but in foreign language. What was up with that? Well, since then, we've actually gotten a track listing, and that track listing reads as follows: Rough and Twisted, In the Stars, Jealous Lover, Mr. Charm. So they do have a song called Mr. Charm. With the information we got before regarding Mr. Charm, we know that the Stones have said that this track is akin to Sympathy for the Devil. I can't wait to hear that. Next comes Divine Intervention, Ringing Hollow, Never Wanna Lose Ya, Hit Me, In the Head, You Know I'm No Good, an Amy Winehouse cover, a song called Some of Us, another one, Covered in You, Side Effects, Back in Your Life, and Beautiful Delilah. Now, besides that, we now know that the album was recorded at Metropolis Studios in London. Mick has said that that was one of the most intimate studios that they've ever recorded in. They've done it before, but not in the particular room that they recorded the album in, and he said you didn't even have to move your eyes about. You could see everybody from every angle in that studio, and he says that kind of work environment really provided the Stones with some stellar results. Now, another thing that we've talked about before is the Stones are claiming that they recorded the bulk of this album in 1 month, yet we know they had up to 10 tracks that were ready to be attached to a future album when they finished Hackney Diamonds. So what's going on here? Have they chosen to just use a few of these tracks and they've written brand new material? I'm sure we're going to hear more when the album actually comes out. But think about this. If they have so much brand new material, I think it's quite possible that we'll see another Stones album in about 2 to 3 years. Wouldn't that be something? Now, that's another thing that they've talked about quite a bit. There's not going to be any touring of this album in 2026, yet Mick and Keith have both said that the possibility of touring this album in 2027 is still on the table. Now, regarding that 1 month that they spent recording this album, they are admitting that at least a few of the tracks are from previous recording sessions. One track will even include another song by Charlie Watts. Of course, that track will be called Hit Me in the Head. I can't wait to hear it. And they also have other guest stars coming in on this album. Paul McCartney being just one, and he was on their last album, Hackney Diamonds, playing bass. I'm hearing he may be playing drums this time. Oh, and another thing, Ron Wood talks about on the day that Brian Wilson died, okay, it really hit him hard. The Stones were in the studio. Brian died last year, 2025, and Ron said that he just played this amazingly long solo. He was so emotionally impacted by the death of Brian Wilson. They're going to use a truncated version of that solo on one of the songs, adding even more emotional depth than we could have imagined. Of course, it's been confirmed that Keith Richards sings on one of these songs. We always get at least one or two songs by Keith singing the lead. And of course, the song that Keith is singing this time around is the track I mentioned before, Some of Us. Of course, right now we've had two songs pre-released, but only one video, and the Stones have used a bit of AI on that video, showing them at younger ages. Of course, there's another actress, just like Sweeney from last year, doing a cameo on that video, and that is Odessa Azione. I'm not sure how you pronounce her last name. The video is wonderful, and out of the two tracks so far, Rough and Twisted and In the Stars, I think the hit by far is In the Stars. I love this track. Now, like I said, they won't be touring the album this year, but there is talk that they'll tour it next year, and that's going to be all up to Keith Richards. He's the one that really put the kibosh on the Stones touring this year. He didn't see himself as able to do a grueling tour, and I think they want him to join them on tour next year, but something tells me they're going to have to adjust their touring schedule. That about does it as far as extra information, but I want to hear from you. Are you guys jonesing for this thing? I know I am. I am so excited. I think I'm even a bit more excited than I was when Hackney Diamonds came out, especially with the two incredible tracks that we've already heard from this album. We've talked about Paul McCartney and his two tracks. That's wonderful. And even Deep Purple's Arrogant. Boy, we're getting some great music out here, as well as one from Yes called Aurora. I'm not as happy with that track as I am from the Stones, McCartney, and Deep Purple, but it's still a solid track. I just think that it needed to be edited down a bit. So what do you guys think of what we've received here in 2026? You know, with so many rock stars passing away, no one was even thinking that we'd be getting this much quality music this late in the life of classic rock. So many of our greatest rockers have passed away, haven't they? All right, folks, that's the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't joined the tribe yet, that's easy. All you have to do is hit that subscribe to the tribe button, tap that top bell icon, and you're there, baby. All right, I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line, and don't tell anybody, but don't ever forget, we are the tribe.